Good evening and welcome to College Foundation of North Carolina's, better known as CFNC's, first annual HBCU Part 1 series discussing advantages of attending North Carolina historically Black colleges and universities. I am Soretta Broadway, CFNC Regional Representative for the 919 area code. I'm so glad to be with you tonight. We're so glad to be with you here tonight to just talk about historically Black colleges and universities, but particularly in the state of North Carolina. We're highlighting 5 out of 10 of our colleges tonight, and we're glad to share our platform with them so that they can provide information about their history and wonderful benefits of attending their HBCUs. We have with us tonight Shaw Bears, Shaw University, Fayetteville State Broncos. We have Fayetteville State Bronco Executive Director of Financial Aid. Yes, you will get to hear from her tonight. We have Bennett College Bells, okay? History. We are learning things tonight. Elizabeth City State University Vikings and North Carolina A&T State University Bulldogs. Let's give them a hand. If you could give me a smiley face or a hand or so. Oh yes, I see you cheering out there. Yes, each of those institutions are going to provide you with a brief history about their institution. They're going to also discuss the benefits of attending their HBCU, talk about the academic programs in which they would like to highlight, also discuss admissions requirements and other pertinent information. I am so excited about this program tonight because I am a product of an HBCU. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. I don't want to say what HBCU because I don't want to be partial to one versus another because they're all glorious, but it is an experience that it would take quite some time for me to be able to express. I was able to go and do things, learn things I had never learned before. I was having an opportunity to go and take internships, be a part of internships, shall I say, work study programs where I received some wonderful work experience, and I could just go on and on and on. And it was just like a big family away from home. Mom and dad weren't there, but there was mom and dad in the cafeteria, in the classroom, in the dorm. It's just an experience. It's like a big family and a big family reunion when we have our homecomings, I will say. Before we began introducing the different colleges and universities tonight, which are sharing the platform with us, I'm going to have my colleague, Brittany Privet, who is going to be able to provide some rich history about historically Black colleges and universities as a whole, at large. So we want to give you some history, not just about the 5 that are on the platform tonight or just the ones that are in the state of North Carolina, but how the historically Black colleges and universities got started. Before I introduce Brittany, I do want to make you aware I have 2 wonderful colleagues who are on the line tonight with me as well. And that is Mrs. Tequila Hall, who is the Regional Representative of College Foundation of North Carolina, assigned to the 336 area code. And I also have Dr. April Query, who is the CFNC Regional and Community Services Manager. And I'm sure I have some other colleagues who are out there who will be helping us with the chat. By the way, speaking of chat, any questions that you find that you have that you may not be able to remember at the very end, please place those into our chat box. We will be monitoring the chat box throughout our program, but we would definitely entertain your questions at the end if we don't get a chance to actually answer them as the program is going along. So if you feel like, well, let me put them in the chat because I might forget and I want to make sure I get my question answered, please do. Tonight, you are in for a definite treat. I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague, Miss Brittany Privet, who is the CFNC Regional Representative for the 910 area code. Please give her a hand clap as she comes as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soretta. Your energy is infectious, and that I think is one of the beautiful things about HBCUs is that there's so much energy and vibrance on every campus, and I'm super honored to be able to provide everyone with some history today. Again, my name is Brittany Privet, and I'm coming from Wilmington today, and I represent the 910 area code, and in my region, I have Fayetteville State University, and our state is speckled with historically Black colleges and universities. I'm really proud to be a North Carolinian, and North Carolina actually has the highest concentration of HBCUs in the entire country. So to give you a little background, HBCUs actually started because before the Civil War, public policy and certain laws in many parts of the nation prohibited Black Americans and African Americans from obtaining any kind of education. The first institution of higher learning for Black Americans was the Institute for Colored Youth, founded in Cheney, Pennsylvania in 1837. The institute was followed by Lincoln University in 1854, also in Pennsylvania, and then Wilberforce University, founded in 1856 in Ohio. So before the Civil War, there were only three options for African Americans to obtain higher education. In 1896, the Supreme Court passed the Plessy versus Ferguson decision, which established a separate but equal doctrine in public education, meaning that every state was allowed to open separate institutions for African American and other minorities to obtain any type of education. In 1956, in 1953, over 75,000 students were enrolled in our nation's public and private Black institutions. In 1954, the next year, the Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education rejected the previous separate but equal doctrine, but many of our Black students across the nation continue to attend majority Black institutions. Typically, these institutions lacked funding and adequate libraries and academic facilities compared to predominantly white institutions, and subsequently, many of those institutions merged with traditionally white institutions. We lost a great deal of HBCUs around that time. That's why it's so important for us to highlight our existing HBCUs and tout them and make sure that we uplift and empower students to explore HBCUs as a viable option, because they are such a rich part of our history. And for a long time, we're the only option for many of our African American students across the nation. Now, we are so proud to say that HBCUs have provided undergraduate training for 3/4 of Black persons holding a doctorate degree. So at least 3/4 of Black people with a professional or a doctorate degree have actually come from our HBCUs. 3/4 of Black officers in the armed forces and 4/5 of all Black federal judges are products of historically Black colleges and universities. HBCUs continue to rank high in terms of the proportion of graduates who pursue and complete graduate and professional training, meaning going on beyond their bachelor's degree. And more than 80% of all Black Americans who received degrees in medicine and dentistry were trained at 2 traditionally Black institutions of medicine and dentistry, Howard University and Meharry Medical College. Today, those institutions still account for 19.7% of degrees awarded in medicine and dentistry to Black students. I do want to highlight Fayetteville State has a new partnership with Meharry Medical College. So if you are deciding to attend an HBCU, or if you're wanting to pursue a medical degree, you can always explore that partnership. We have tons of different opportunities within the state of North Carolina with regards to obtaining an education at a HBCU. So today we're going to talk more in depth about 5 of our institutions, and in the fall we'll highlight the other 5 institutions that we will not be talking about this evening. Tonight we're going to actually start with Shaw University, which was the first HBCU in the Southeast, and we are super excited that they were founded here in North Carolina. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Lucas, and he's going to give you more information about Shaw University. Go Bears.
Good evening, everyone. Can you guys see me, hear me okay? Yes, I hope so. All right, so I want to give a quick shout out to CFNC for the invite. Thank you, Ms. Privet, for reaching out. I hate that we couldn't be in person, but I am ecstatic to be meeting with you all this evening. My name is Will Lucas, and I have the privilege of serving as the Associate Director of Admission at Shaw University, the first historically Black college in the southern states of the United States of America. So a little about myself, guys, before we hop into it, so you know who you'll be working with. Originally from Maryland, but I attended Bennett College, an HBCU located in Columbia, South Carolina. I then went on to Bowie State University, another HBCU located in Bowie, Maryland. I'm currently a grad student at Jackson State University, another HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. So I bring this up, guys, because I'm an advocate for everything HBCU, okay? And we embody that HBCU experience here at Shaw University. From the CAF to the fraternities and sororities, shout out to all the men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated on the call today, all the way down to the family orientation, which you'll find out more about from all the institutions that you hear from tonight. So a little history about Shaw University. We were founded in 1865. Okay, 1865, right after the Civil War that Ms. Privet actually just so eloquently spoke about. We were founded by Henry Martin Tupper, who actually served in the war as a chaplain, okay? And he served right along Black individuals who he believed deserved the right to be educated. And right here at the bottom, you also see Dr. Paulette Dillard, who is serving as our 18th president. Okay, just some general information about Shaw U. We currently sit at a 17-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Okay, so your class size will be perfect for you, especially if you're looking for a smaller environment. We are currently in the CIAA, Division II athletics, and we have a 57% female population along with a 47% population of males. Thank you. Okay, some requirements. You must have a high school diploma or a GED to be eligible for admission into Shaw University. We require at least 3 units of English, 2 units of math, 2 units of natural sciences, 2 units of social sciences, and 9 units of electives. And according to our GPA, you must have a GPA of a 2.0 to be eligible for admission. All right, so we also accept transfer applications as well. If you're a transfer student, you will have an audit done by our registrar's office or myself, and you must have 12 transferable hours from your prior institution to be eligible for admission into Shaw University. Okay, and if you haven't done so, ladies and gentlemen, FAFSA opened up on October 1st for everybody. Our school code is located right here at the bottom. You go to FAFSA.gov, fill that out, and please be sure to add Shaw University to your top institution so we can receive your aid information. Thank you. Moving through these slides. Thank you, whoever's controlling it. All right, so you can skip this one. We're just talking about FAFSA. Good to go. Okay, so here are our majors, guys. We have over 30 majors and minors along with our graduate programs here at Shaw University. Currently, our top 5 programs at Shaw U are biology, elementary education, computer science, mass communication, as well as anything exercise science. We are located right next to the research triangle, so everything STEM at Shaw University is super competitive. And right here, you will have all the information you need to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also going to be putting my information in the chat box below. Again, my name is Will Lucas, Associate Director, Shaw U. Go Bears.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Go Bears. Next. We appreciate you, Mr. Lucas, and thank you for sharing your information. Students who are on the call tonight, please make sure that you engage with these admissions counselors and these admissions professionals. They're here to help, and we want you to explore HBCUs here in North Carolina. That's why we're doing this evening. Up next, we have Fayetteville State University. Go Broncos. Mr. Hawkins is going to give you a little bit more information about the Broncos.
Thank you, Ms. Brittany, and welcome everyone to Fayetteville State University's presentation. Right before I get started, I want to give a very special shout out, and I'm seeing her in the chat, Mrs. Booth Horton. I believe she's the counselor over at Quality Education. I'm bringing her up because she is she's type of the counselors and teachers that make my job easy in terms of recruiting and getting in touch with students. I have worked with her directly. She's passionate about reaching you all, and I like being around people like that. So I just want to give her a digital hand clap. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ms. Booth Horton. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fayetteville State University. I'm going to try to make it very simple and very quick, but at the same time, give you the vibe, if you will, the culture of Fayetteville State. And generally how I start off giving our history, we look at Fayetteville State back in 1867, and I remind everyone we were started by 7 Black men who came together, who saw that there was a need in the community, and the community elected them to say, hey, represent us, help establish something that will last for generations to generations. And so these 7 men came together, they put in $136, and they created a school out of a house that only had 5 bedrooms. And out of these 5 bedrooms, as you see on the slide, 33 undergraduate programs are now here, 17 graduate programs, 1 doctorate program, all because someone had the faith and the initiative to bring us together to provide an opportunity. And that's what Fayetteville State does. We just want to provide an opportunity. We cannot give you what you don't want to give to yourself. And the objective of our goal is to bring that out of you. So in saying that, of course, we offer the main majors, if you will. We have the biologies, we have the English, we have history, political science, intelligence studies, but we also have specialty programs. And so I'm going to take most of my time articulating those special programs. Ms. Brittany, she brought up one particular program that we offer, the 3+3+3 program. In general, this is how it goes. You spend 3 years, and of course, this program is for people who want to become medical doctors or dentists. You spend 3 years with Fayetteville State during your pre-med cycle. Then you go to Meharry College over in Tennessee, and you do 3 years of your medical school. Then you come back to North Carolina, and you will serve the southeastern part of the state in terms of the 3 years of your residency. And the objective is, again, as we educate you, you come back and serve others, because we don't leave other people behind. Now, outside of the 3+3+3 program, we also have the 3+2 program. The 3+2 program is for all of those that are interested in the engineering track. Now, Fayetteville State, in true form, we partnered with other universities, specifically NC State, to say, hey, we would like to provide an opportunity for our students to receive their engineering degree. And so they one-upped it and made it better, whereas you can get 2 degrees in 5 years. So you'll stay with us for 3 years. You can get your degree in computer science, and physics and chemistry and computer science. Did I say that already? I probably did. And then you'll transfer over to NC State. In 2 years, you'll get another undergrad degree in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, chemistry engineering, computer science engineering. Those things are available to you at an affordable cost, the only way that HBCUs do, because we do not want to put you in debt while you're pursuing your ultimate dreams. Fun fact, women in America is the most educated demographic in the United States. However, you all are also the most underpaid. And so the objective for Fayetteville State is to get you to a place where your education meets where you're supposed to get your money, if I can articulate it in that way. And that's why we push a lot of our STEM programs to provide opportunities for you to go in that direction. Now, we also offer, because we're 5 minutes away from Fort Bragg, ROTC programs, whether it's Air Force or Army, and they will provide an opportunity to pay for your whole education. Touch your neighbor, say whole. Everything. Once you graduate from our university, you can enter into a program where you become a commissioned officer. The caveat, of course, is that you serve time in the military, such as I did in the Marine Corps, and there's nothing wrong with giving back, because that's what HBC culture is about. Outside of the ROTC program, you heard me mention the Intelligence Studies program. Long story short, intelligence studies are for people who want to get onto the reconnaissance side of things in the government. FBI, CIA, CIAA. Did y'all catch that? All the alphabets that's within the government. Outside intelligence studies, we also offer a pre-law track. That's for all of our people that want to go and become a lawyer. Well, under the English department, we have created a curriculum for you to be able to get into the graduate school of your choice. We also offer the forensic science program. We're the only program that's accredited by the FEPAC. Why is that important? Well, out of all the programs that are offered in the United States, only 24 forensic science programs have been offered this accreditation, and we're one of them. Again, we take STEM research serious. Outside of forensic science, we also offer cybersecurity certification. We also offer nursing. We also offer, for those who are nurses, RN to BSN program. And that can be completely online. It's available to you all at this mid-sized school, Fayetteville State University. I say mid-sized because we have approximately 7,000 students, which we're not extremely large, but we're just enough where it's 17 to 1 ratio. It's enough students for you to be able to have a conversation and know your professors. It's an intimate setting because, again, we don't leave people behind. It's part of our culture to help uplift and move forward. I also want to mention, and this will be in conclusion on this, we now offer a minor in e-gaming. One of our own students, who's a senior now, Mr. Ahmad Moore, won the championship against Langston University in Y2K20. He did an excellent job. He won $500. He won a Dell laptop, and they gave him an Xbox One to practice on, and they told him to keep it. Now, in true Bronco form, this young student, again, as students, you're not going to have a whole lot of money because you're focused on your career. He decided to take that $500 and give it back to an elementary so that they can develop a technology program on their own. This is what it means to be a Bronco. This is what it means to do what we have to do to help and support each other. Ladies and gentlemen, Fayetteville State University, where we don't take shortcuts, we get it done. Appreciate you all. Ms. Briggs, back to you.
All right, attitude check. Bronco pride in the house.
Pride.
Yes. So to talk a little bit about financial aid, we have the Executive Director of Financial Aid at Fayetteville State to talk to you a little bit about the financial aid experience on an HBCU campus.
Good evening. Let's decode financial aid at the Fayetteville State University, home of Bronco Country. I am Kamisha House, the Executive Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid, and I am a proud graduate of 2 HBCUs. My undergraduate degree is from Shaw University, and my graduate degree is from North Carolina Central University. Woohoo! Go HBCUs! So, why did I choose? So allow me to share my experience and my reasoning and my choice of choosing Shaw University. I am from a small area, small town in the eastern part of the state, Jones County. It is a rural area, but rich with family, history, and community. And I know, and I knew back then, I wanted that big city, but small school feel, just like I had back home. I also wanted an institution of higher learning similar to my high school, with a small class size. Shaw University had a small class size. I wanted to ensure my professors knew exactly who I was. They poured into me. They guided me. They had my best interest at heart. That's why I chose to attend a small private HBCU. Now, years ago, and here recently, you would hear about myths, the relevance of a HBCU, right? Or if you attended or graduated from an HBCU, you would not get a great job like those graduates from the majority schools or the large schools. But let me tell you this. In my current role in higher ed as the Executive Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid, and by the way, I've been in higher education for over close to almost 30 years, okay? I sit in conference rooms, boardrooms right now. I sit beside those graduates who graduated from the Harvards, from the Duke, from the Carolina, from a Virginia Tech. I make decisions with those folks. How about that? May I get a finger snap? So, Jones County, I see that in the chat. Yes. Jones Senior High School. Yes. Actually, Jones Senior High School prepared me to go to Shaw University, that prepared me to go to North Carolina Central University, that prepared me to sit in these rooms, sit in this boardroom, sit in these conference rooms around with folks that have graduated from these prestigious institutions. Next, please. Now that I've given you a brief overview of my experience and my choices, I just want to share a couple of tips right now in decoding financial aid /tips for you. Each year, you must complete the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, in order to receive financial aid. October 1 is well, it's not the priority date, but October 1 of each year is when the FAFSA application becomes available. To complete the FAFSA, you must have a FSA ID to submit that electronically along with your parent. You should also use the school code of your choice. So if you're attending FSU, our school code is 0029280. And another tip that would save you time as well is to use the DRT, the data retrieval tool, to import tax information, which is linked to the IRS. So I just wanted to share tonight my experience at HBCU, my financial aid overview, and my experience as a financial aid administrator. And I didn't share, but it is on that first slide. I began my career, I was a recipient of financial aid. I was a work study student. And as that work study student, once I was trained regarding the steps, guess what I did? I was that face of our financial aid office at Shaw University as a student. And I was able, when I graduated, I had so much experience on my resume that 2 months, it was about 3 months, 3 months after graduation, I landed a job, my first professional job at Shaw University. So with that experience, I cannot stress enough the importance of choosing your HBCU of choice. Thank you so much. And I hope that choice is Fayetteville State University, home of Bronco Country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. House. I really appreciate your energy and being on the call tonight. Thank you so much for talking about how awesome Fayetteville State is. We are going to keep the party going by introducing Ms. Jasmine Faison from Bennett College. Go Bells.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brittany, and good evening, everyone. My name is Jasmine Faison. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Bennett College, and I'm also a proud Bennett Belle, class of 2010. And again, we are so excited to be here with you to share more about Bennett College with our young women who are right here from our home state of North Carolina. So why Bennett College? Bennett College because we are the future. Because we are renewing and restoring the viability of HBCUs in America, because we are activists who care about people, community, and equality, because we speak up and stand up when people look the other way, because we are where the girl you are meets the woman you will become. So be celebrated and validated as a young woman, and be bold, brilliant, and boundless by joining the Bennett College family. And we'll move to the next slide. So a quick overview of Bennett College. So Bennett College is a small private all women's college located in the heart of Greensboro, North Carolina. We were originally founded in 1873, and we actually served as a place called Bennett Seminary, where we educated a series of different people, both men and women, boys and girls, and many different age levels as well. Of course, over time, other institutions started to sprout around. And so we did transition to become an all women's college in 1926, and we have remained an all women's college ever since. We are one of only 2 all women's HBCUs in the entire nation. So what more unique of an experience than that? We're a small HBCU. So our student to faculty ratio is 7-to-1, but that guarantees our students a very personalized one-on-one learning experience where you're not only to receive what you're looking for academically and professionally, but you'll also have the space and opportunity to really focus on who you are physically, spiritually, mentally as a part of your full transition into womanhood. You'll also have the opportunity to be very vocal about your academic experience by letting us know exactly what it's going to take for you to get to where you need to go and what we can do to support you throughout that process. We are a member of the Greater Greensboro Consortium program. So that means we partner with all of the other colleges and universities here in the city of Greensboro, including our fellow HBCU brothers and sisters over at North Carolina A&T State University. We have a top-ranked global studies program. So for all of my young ladies who are interested in traveling and studying abroad and engaging in more international and global experiences, this would definitely be an excellent program for you to take advantage of. We even offer a passport scholarship. So if you do not have your passport, you can apply and we will pay for the entire passport process for you. Now, benefits of going to an all-women's HBCU. Why in the world would a young woman decide to choose a women's college over a co-ed college? Well, there's a few reasons. First, as an HBCU, we are a very family-oriented type of campus. You're going to be a part of a very intimate college community with young women from all across the country, as 50% of our students are from in-state and the other 50% of our students are from out of state. So you'll be able to not only engage with your sisters who come from the same place that you come from, but you'll be able to make some really strong connections and sisterhoods and friendships with young women from lots of different places, different from where you grew up. A women's college is an intentional community designed just for young women. So everything that takes place on our campus, from our social activities to our academic programs to some of our other resources and opportunities, leadership opportunities, are all designed to support you as a young woman, especially our young women of color. And so you'll be in an environment where everything is centered around you and you'll have plenty of options to choose from. Authenticity. We encourage our students to be their authentic selves and to always bring their authentic selves to the table. We have a lot of similarities, but we also have a lot of differences. And it's those differences that we can bring together to strengthen the bond of our campus community. Focus. Of course, as an all-women's college, there's a certain level of distraction that may not exist on our campus. And so that does give our young women the opportunity to really have the time and space to focus on your academics, but still also have the time and space to have fun and have an enjoyable college experience. Leadership is a main initiative on our campus. We want to make sure that you're not just ready to go into the career field or the industry of your choice at the entry level, but we want you to be prepared to seek the highest of heights when you get into those different industries. If you want to be a dentist, that's great, but we want you to end up owning your own dentistry practice. If you want to be a lawyer, that's awesome, but we want you to end up owning your own law firm. So we provide lots of leadership opportunities through our Leadership Institute that will give you the skill sets that you need, again, to be able to achieve at that higher level. And then, of course, what would a women's college be without the sisterhood? There are lots of different programs that are in place, like the Big Sister, Little Sister program, where each incoming fresh woman gets assigned a big sister that's a junior or a senior. So someone to serve as a mentor for you throughout your first few years. And then also you'll just engage in general sisterhood around campus through social activities, through the classroom, and through lots of different programs that will give you the opportunity to connect with your classmates, connect with your sister bells on more than just an academic level. Top majors at Bennett College. We offer over 35 different academic programs. Here's a highlight of our top 5. Journalism and media studies. So if you are interested in going into any of the media fields, if you're interested in going into radio, film, television, social media management, that's going to be the program for you. We also have a growing number of students who've become interested in sports broadcasting. And so again, that would all be filtered through our journalism and media studies program, which houses a top level production studio on our campus that was recently built a few years ago. Biology, all of my young women who are interested in STEM, if you're interested in going into scientific research, if you're interested in going to medical school, if you're interested in going into nursing or going into any of the health or nutrition fields, this is going to be the program for you. And there's a very strong emphasis on scientific research. And we do partner with Duke University for a lot of our scientific research internships and opportunities for STEM students. Business administration. The great thing about this program is that it's a general business admin program, but we also have an entrepreneurial studies component to this program. You are actually able to join the entrepreneurial studies program without having to be an official business admin major. This is an excellent program because you'll have the opportunity to build a blueprint for your business plan so that once you graduate from Bennett College, you're not only ready to go and kind of seek out the jobs that you're looking for, but you'll have a blueprint to help you get that business that you're interested in starting up off the ground and running. Psychology, general major on campus, very popular program. Great thing about the psychology major at all different levels is that you're able to take that psych major and go into lots of different industries. We have psych majors who go not only into clinical psychology, they go into education, they go into politics, they go into law, they go into the nonprofit industry as well. So lots of options through that program. And then last but not least, our social work major. Great program that was actually just reaccredited on our campus. And so that's given our students a lot more opportunities to have some more in the field experience right here in the city of Greensboro and within Guilford County. You'll have lots of shadowing opportunities through the social work program to really identify what sector of social work you'd like to take on, whether you'd like to serve children, whether you'd like to serve adolescent or teenage age students, whether you'd like to serve the elderly, whatever area that you're interested in, that program will support you to get the in the field experience that you are looking for. Now, what will it take to become a Bennett Belle, to get through the admissions process and be accepted to our institution? Well, we have two tiers of acceptance. For regular admission, you are required to earn a 2.5 or greater GPA, and that does require you to be admitted with no conditions. We do also accept students who may not have a 2.5, but show academic potential and promise through our Emerging Scholars Program. This is a program that will require you to meet with a success coach, to develop an academic success plan, and to engage in certain academic sessions and tutoring services to ensure that you have everything that you need when you first get to Bennett College so that you are able to achieve at a higher level in college than you were able to achieve in high school. It's a wonderful program that's been around for a really long time. And one of the great benefits of being a student at Bennett College is that we are not only interested in making sure that we are bringing to the table our young women who have achieved at a high level in high school, but we also are a place that offers our young women the opportunity to have a fresh start and to get a second chance at receiving a quality education. And the merging of those two groups of women together is something that is super, super powerful and empowering to everyone on our campus. All you need to do is complete our application. We have a free application on our website, bennett.edu, and I'll put that information in the chat once we conclude. We are also available on the Common Black app as well if you are applying to multiple HBCUs at once. And then, of course, you are welcome to apply to us through CFNC as well. We require that you submit your high school transcript complete with at least up to your junior year grade. So if you're currently in senior year, you may not have all of your senior year grades reflected on your transcript, but as long as you have everything up to the end of junior year, we'll be able to help you move through the admissions process. Test scores are optional this year. We typically require the SAT or the ACT, but again, that is being waived due to the many cancellations, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. You are also welcome to submit an optional essay, and you are also welcome to submit optional letters of recommendation as well. And then once you are accepted to Bennett College, you'll receive access to your own personal page that will be catered just to you. You'll be able to access your new student checklist, and then you'll also be able to move through the rest of the process, with one of your most immediate next steps being to add us to your list of schools on the FAFSA so we can help you get started with the financial aid process. Not listed here are scholarship opportunities that I'll just quickly talk through before I wrap up with our last slide. We do offer institutional scholarships based on your overall cumulative GPA. Those scholarships are going to start at a 2.5, and that's it for $7,500 per year. And then as the GPA grows, the scholarship dollars grow as well, all the way up to the opportunity to receive a $20,000 per year scholarship if you have a a 4.0 GPA. Those scholarships are automatically awarded based on your grade point average. There is no separate application process. All you have to do is fill out the scholarship intent form to let us know that you're interested in accepting what we have to offer. And then we'll move on to the last slide. So fall open house. Sometimes we join these events and they are so wonderful, but you might still have some questions afterward that you'd like to get answered. So we invite you to attend our virtual open house taking place in just a few weeks on Saturday, March the 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, this will be a fully virtual event, but it will be jam-packed with lots of information about the Bennett College experience. And you'll also be able to talk in real time with current students at Bennett College, and you'll get to see a little bit of the Bennett College culture exhibited through some performances and some other forms of entertainment. You're welcome to apply at bennett.edu/admissions, and you're also able to apply through your personal Pearl page if you have already applied with us online. So again, if you are interested in joining an environment that is empowering, that is encouraging, that is inspirational, if you are interested in becoming the woman that you've always hoped to be, if you're interested in joining a wonderful network of awesome young women who work together as they walk into their womanhood together, then join us over at Bennett College for Women. Thank you all so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Faison. What an amazing presentation. I love your confidence that you can only find on a all women's campus. Thank you so much for sharing all the information that the Bennett Bells have to offer. Just a reminder for everybody as we move into our next presentations, schools who are on the chat right now, we have some questions that are popping up in the chat, so feel free to answer those questions as we move along. And for our students and attendees who have questions, please know that we will be opening everything up at the end for any questions that you may have. So if your question isn't answered in the chat, feel free to ask it after we conclude with our school presentations. So moving on to our next institution, I'm going to introduce Mr. Ure, who is the Director of Admissions at Elizabeth City State. Go Vikings!
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Darius Ure. I'm serve as the Director of Admissions right here at Elizabeth City State University. And much like some of my other colleagues have mentioned, I'm also a graduate of an Hbcu of Elizabeth City State University. Originally founded back in 1891. From Hbcu, we started off as Elizabeth City State Normal School. We became a teachers college, and eventually in 1969, we actually became Elizabeth City State University, when we also joined the University of North Carolina system of institutions. And so as you can see, we are 130 years of history right here at Elizabeth City State University, and we're located in northeastern North Carolina. So up in the northeastern corner of North Carolina, up closer towards the state of Virginia. And so if you're looking for a smaller historically Black college where you can enjoy a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio, think about Elizabeth City State University. We're also an NC Promise institution. So if our in-state students, tuition is only $500 per semester. Before you add in room and board, that's not a scholarship, that's just the price of our tuition. So if you're admitted, you get it. That $500 semester tuition for our in-state students. So cost is something you're concerned about. As my colleague from Fayetteville State mentioned at HBCU, our goal is not to break you, but to make you whole. We don't want to, have you tied up with student loan debt and trying to figure out how you're going to pay for college. Our goal is to make sure that you not only make it through, but you make it through with a minimal to no student loan debt as possible. At Elizabeth City State University, the academic offerings, as you can see, we have a sampling up here, range from accounting, aviation science. We have about 12 different airplanes and unmanned aerial vehicles or drones that are available for our students to utilize. As we also offer the only 4-year aviation science program at a public institution in the state of North Carolina. And so for anybody who's interested in aviation, if you have looked at the cost of an aviation degree at some other institutions, you're not likely to find one at this particular cost. Also, that is why Elizabeth City State University is also ranked as the #1 most affordable public HBCU in the nation. So if you're looking for biology, business, chemistry, for my pre-med majors or even pre-dentistry majors, any of that, We do have that right here at Elizabeth City State University. Digital media, graphic design. So for some of those y'all who are interested in like video game design, my art majors, it's definitely something that you're going to want to think about. If you're looking for an online degree program, we also offer Homeland Security and Interdisciplinary Studies, fully online. So like I said, if you're thinking about, with the pandemic, do you want to go to campus? Do you want to stay online? Those are two of our all online programs. And so you can actually go straight through the entire program. All the classes are online. We also offer kinesiology, very similar to physical education, but I think a little more advanced, as well as also offer our mathematics. And so one of the things I did forget to mention, Elizabeth City State University was originally founded for the creation of African-American educators in North Carolina. And so education is still one of our premier majors that we do offer. As you can see, with all of the academic offerings, the majority of those do allow you to utilize it as a concentration while completing your education degree. So if you're looking to be a math teacher, science teacher, special education, definitely think about Elizabeth City State University. You also see we have social work, sport management, unmanned aircraft systems, which is actually the drone technology. For those who are interested in that, yes, we do offer a four-year degree. So definitely think about it. Once again, don't forget we're an NC Promise institution, and we can go to the next slide. I don't want to go over too much of the time because I do want to allow enough time for you to ask questions. To apply to Elizabeth City State University, simply go to ecsu.edu/apply. We do require at least a minimum GPA of a 2.5 to be considered for admissions. We are waiving test scores for 2021. So if you don't have a test score, not something for you to be concerned about. If you don't have a 2.50, I would still encourage you to apply, especially if you're still in high school. A lot of students that I'm working with right now are in a particular boat where they're close. And a lot of them are going to meet that 2.5. So if you're concerned, definitely go ahead and get your application submitted. So we can definitely get that reviewed for you, as we are still accepting applications for fall 2021. For those who are utilizing financial aid, which is approximately 90% of our current students, our school code is 002926. I do want to encourage you, if you have not, to make sure that you submit your FAFSA. If you are submitting verification, you want to make sure that you complete those requirements as well. At Elizabeth City State University, once we've received your FAFSA, and once you've made it through verification and been admitted as a student, then our financial aid department will contact you directly with your financial aid award letter. So once you're admitted, submitted your FAFSA, and don't have any outstanding requirements for financial aid, our financial aid office will provide a scholarship award letter for you. So definitely you want to consider getting that done. I do see one question. Yes, we are waiving application fees for those who are applying this evening. So like I said, if you have time, go right ecsu.edu/apply, create your account, and get your application submitted. If you have any questions whatsoever, I will be here throughout the rest of the evening. I will also share my contact information in our chat as well. So feel free to reach out to me. Once again, my name is Darius Muir. I serve as the Director of Admissions right here at Elizabeth City State University, my HBCU, where I wanted to become a HBCU as well. Viking pride.
Thank you, Mr. Ure. Yes, Viking pride all day. Yes, sir. And I've heard about y'all dining hall, so I'll keep that to myself, but I've heard some good things about the dining hall over there.
Well, you know how we do, Brittany. Thank you so much.
Yes, all right, last but not least, certainly not least, we are going to turn it over to our Aggies. So Ms. Nakia, if you would like to discuss all of the amazing things that we have over in Aggie Land.
Of course. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nakia Bradford. I serve as the Senior Assistant Director of Freshman Admissions here at North Carolina A&T State University. And I'm going to allow one of our wonderful Aggie ambassadors to go ahead and introduce himself. Mr. Adams.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Adams. I am a senior biology pre-med student from Shelby, North Carolina, a little small area in Cleveland County. But like Ms. Nakia said, I do serve as an Aggie ambassador. It's like a tour guide here on campus, but I also serve as the president of the Undergraduate Student National Dental Association, which is USNDA for short. So my future goals is to be a dentist. So we do have organizations geared towards specific majors and career goals at the end. I also serve as a learning assistant through the university. So that's like a peer tutor and a bunch of other things with the University of A&T.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adams. We also bring you greetings on behalf of our Chancellor, Mr. Harold L. Martin Sr., as well as our undergraduate admissions director, Ms. Jamia Tenney. We all thank you for carving time out of your evening to learn additional information about all of the wonderful HBCUs here in North Carolina. We also would like to thank CFNC for the wonderful information so that we can go ahead and disperse additional information about Aggie Land. Here at A&T, we were founded on March 9th, 1891 as a land grant institution, and we shout that from the mountaintops. Congress delegated funds, more importantly, through the Second Morrill Act, so that institutions like A&T can be created so that we can instruct individuals of color in the disciplines such as agriculture, and that is what puts the A within A&T, and that as well as the technical disciplines. So for many of you who may know, we are recognized as a STEM-focused institution. So that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, we are not STEM exclusive. So let's just comb through our top majors from this past year, which is biology. 45% of our students will go ahead and go to graduate school, and 25% of them will go ahead and attain employment obtain employment within the medical field, entry-level positions. Nursing, our students are passing their NCLEX exam their first time 98% of the time, which is a true testament to the rigor of the curriculum here, as we also have our own simulation labs that has our own cadaver, so you will have that hands-on interaction. And we also have a 100% success rate in our students becoming nurses after they have received their certification. Psychology, of course, you will be able to study from the clinical perspective as well as the rehabilitations perspective. Management, our students are able to receive employment from Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Chase. Mechanical engineering is our top discipline out of our engineering. As you all may be aware, we are the #1 producer in African Americans attaining their Bachelor of Science in the nation. Can I get some Aggie pride down in the chat below? Our students are also able to receive instruction within aerospace engineering. So if you are looking to attain a job within NASA, that dream can come true. Fun fact, Ronald McNair is an Aggie alum and has commanded the Challenger, which is a spacecraft that orbited Earth. So if you are an engineer, just understand you will be walking the halls of Ronald McNair, who did work for NASA. Going over to the side of our points of pride, 54 majors, but we have over 100 opportunities for you all if you were to include our tracks and our certifications. For example, we have pre-medical tracks for all my dentists, all my surgeons, all my optometrists out there. Our class size is actually smaller these days due to the pandemic, 18-1. So you will have the opportunity to know your professors will know you, and of course you'll have the opportunity to know your counterparts so that you guys can help one another to ensure your success. As you can see, you may be wondering, what is a doctoral research institution? Long story short, our Carnegie Research classification is considered R2. We are a high research activity institution. So if you're trying to attain that research activity and put that on your resume, you got to think of A&T. We recently received an $8 million grant from NASA in which we are constructing manned air vehicles in which they will hover. So we are trying to take flight soon here in Aggieland, and that is in efforts to mitigate traffic congestion. So just think about that. If you want to conduct research within artificial intelligence, you totally can do that here in Aggieland. Just to brag about our rankings, we are considered the #1 HBCU in the nation. So for those of you who may not know, that stands for Historically Black College or University. So there are about 107 HBCUs in the nation. So to be regarded as a #1 public HBCU, definitely proud of this accolade. And not only are we the nation's #1 public HBCU, we are the nation's largest HBCU as well. So we just have over 12,000 students, 12,700 students. That's also encompassing our graduate students as well. So if you're looking to attain a master's or a doctoral degree, you totally can do that here at A&T. So just to get to our admissions requirements, things of that nature, we do expect our students to meet our minimum course requirements. We do expect our students to take 4 units of English, 4 units of mathematics, 3 units of natural sciences, 2 units of social sciences, sciences and 2 units of the same foreign language. We do expect our students to be competitive with our current average, which will fluctuate from year to year. However, it is a weighted GPA of a 3.6, and we are test optional this year, which means we do not require a standardized test score in order to render an admissions decision for you all. And if you guys would like to apply, our application is found on our home website, ncat.edu, as well as the Common App if you all are comfortable with that platform. And we do accept fee waivers from NACAC, College Board, SAT, and ACT. So thank you so much for your time. If you guys have any additional questions about tuition, campus culture, if you would like to take a tour with us, please feel free to take a picture of this slide. We are happy to accommodate you. And I would like to transition to Mr. Adams so that he can let you all know why he chose A&T.
So why did I choose A&T? So in high school, I took AP classes, I took college courses, and I was happened to be the only person that looked like me in that classroom. So I always wondered, how would it be to be that person, not to be the only person, be the minority in the classroom? How would it be to be around people who look like me? And I just thought that I would be more successful in those environments. So I applied to A&T. I did some research about Greensboro. So Greensboro is like the 3rd largest city in North Carolina, behind Charlotte and Raleigh. So also in addition to A&T, Greensboro is a good area to live in. I have an apartment here. I love the mall, it's big and all those places. So Greensboro is a good area to live in. So A&T was like the place to be for me. And when choosing schools, it's more than just going to the school. So some of you may go to schools and, they might have nice facilities, nice football fields, stadiums, but a school is more than just, the buildings and everything. It's about the staff, the people that work there. I know everyone from the custodians to the lunch ladies. It's a whole family environment here at A&T. So I made a great decision, and it's all love. Aggie Pride.
That's right. That Aggie pride is true. So just know, if you guys are thinking to become an Aggie, just know our chancellor, who is basically the big dog, the president of our university, is the first Aggie alum to serve within this position. He has an open door policy. So just know you will be cared for and looked after once you become an Aggie. So as always, as we say, Aggie pride. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. What a wonderful presentation. What wonderful energy we've had this evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Adams, for taking time out of your busy schedule as a student to share your story and all of the great things that Aggie Nation has to offer. Ms. Bradford, thank you so much. And thank you to all the presenters this evening who took time out of their schedules to talk about what HBCUs can do for you. Please note that we're going to be highlighting the second set of 5 HBCUs in North Carolina in the fall. So stay tuned for that. But now we'd like to open it up for questions and take a little bit of time to open up the floor for questions. Does anybody, I know we had some questions in the chat. Does anybody else have any other questions they'd like to ask while we have a captive panel to answer? Feel free to write it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if needed.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Booth Horton. I hope you can see me. I'm downstairs, so the lighting is kind of off. I am the counselor at Quality Education Academy High School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the first and the oldest Black-owned charter school in the state of North Carolina. We are one of the 13 original charters and one of 3 to remain its charter. We've been sitting on the hill for 26 years. We opened our high school in 2006. I was there when we laid the first brick, and we have had 100% graduation and 100% college acceptance. And I am proud. Yes, we're going to snap on that for about 10 seconds. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Tonight is remarkable. Tonight is amazing. Tonight is incredible. You all are why I do what I do, the way I do what I do. I go hard, and I've got some seniors and some juniors on this site tonight that will say, yep, she pretty much does. It is a requirement that every student applies to at least 5 colleges and present me with a letter of acceptance from each one, or there will be no diploma. Big facts. Pause on that. Everybody can go. So we do, of course, 2-year colleges. I don't care if you go to trade school, you're going somewhere. Now, I do have some questions on the table. I'm having a difficult time getting some feedback from some of my reps. I'm having a difficult time on the phone. I can't get through and things like that. My email is in the chat. Put it down, write it down, save it, get in touch with me. I've got kids chomping at the bits. They're saying I need this, but I've sent that. They're saying I need another transcript, but we've mailed it. So I need for you guys to work with me and to continue to help me help them. And I know with COVID going on, I've got 22% of my seniors have had to seek jobs. 18% of them are working full-time jobs. And so if there are any scholarships, and we have 100% FAFSA, it is done. 100% of my students that are Crosby Scholars have already applied for the last dollar grant. It's already done. We've gone through the Winston-Salem Foundation applications. And so we're doing what we need to do on our end. If there are any scholarships out there, just send me an email and we will be on it. Mr. Hawkins will tell you, if I know it, we are on it, because that's what we do. A&T, we love Jamia. That's my girl. She always replies to my messages when I can get her. So she's kind of helping me today filter through some of the cloud. So guys, if there is anyone out there, just take my email, ahorton@qeschools, it's plural.org. Email me and say, hey, I saw you on the Zoom tonight. Here's my information. If you need me, email me directly. I just need to connect with you guys. This is the second year in a row that I have not been able to have a full-blown college fair. And for those of you that have been to my school, we do it big. It's not about the numbers, it's about the impact. We do it big. We have every HBCU that I can contact and that I can secure to come to the school. We set it up, we feed you guys, we take care of you guys. We do it big. I tell them, you don't have to have big numbers to make an impact. You have to have a big heart. And that's what we have at the Q. So I want to thank you all, first of all, for all of the work that you do. It is amazing. You're changing lives, which means you're changing communities, which ultimately means you're changing the world. So thank you over and over and over. Again, reach out to me. Send me that email and say, hey, this is my contact information. If you need anything from us, we got you. That's all I'm asking for. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart to all my pharaohs that are on here tonight. 2 of you have just won some, I've got some gift cards. Oh, we have to sweeten the deal. We have to sweeten the deal. So I've got some gift cards that I'll be giving out. And I did promise that I would announce who won the big card, and that is John Tasia King. She won the big card. So I want you guys, thank you, Mr. Hawkins. See there, John Tasia, hard work pays off. And just so that you know, at my school, we do service the community. So we're majority Black and brown students. And right now, we've taken a hit with COVID. We've taken a hit. Our families have taken a hit. But I do drive-bys, pray-bys, walk-bys. I do it all because we have to let them know that we're here for them. So again, I want to thank you. Please reach out to me and let me know, that I can reach out to you if I need anything. And to Ms. Hall, there are no words. I thank you. She and I have been working together for a few years now, several years now. And so she sent me that email. I'm like, I'm on it. She sent me a reminder, was like, did you get, oh no, I'm on this. We're going to be here. So I want to thank you again for that. So again, I thank everyone. And I've got kids at ECU knocking them down, kids at FSU knocking them down, tons of kids at A&T. Every one of these schools here, I would name you all, but I probably can't. We've got kids there. And so thank you over and over again. So if you ever feel like you're not making that impact, just know Ms. Horton said you are. So thank you again.
Thank you, Ms. Horton, and thank you for all the counselors who are on the call today. We can't do our jobs without you. We live and breathe working with counselors and making sure that we partner to serve our students and make sure that they know about different opportunities like HBCUs in the state of North Carolina and beyond. So thank you so much for your passion, and thank you so much for all the counselors who are on the call today.
So we've had a couple of questions come through about the different institutions and what they have available to help with career assistance after graduation. And I won't specify the degree because I've seen a few different majors come through. I've seen psychology, I've seen a few different ones. So just about, I guess, your career resources after graduation, if everyone could address that briefly, that'd be great.
So at Fayetteville State, we do have a career services institution within our student center. So for all of our students that are preparing for the quote unquote real world, writing their resumes, preparing for internships. We have counselors and staff members specific for that opportunity for you to be able to apply for internships, not just around the community, but there are also major specific. For example, within our business program, Ms. Tammy Graves is over the internship department on their side, where she has accumulated numerous internships with the federal government, as well as some Fortune 500 companies, to give those majors an opportunity to work within their field. And each department has a person that's designated for the internships opportunities.
Yeah, so at Elizabeth City State University, ours is set up very similar. Dr. Yolanda Kokana is the person who handles our career services. And we also encourage all of our students to take advantage of internships, research opportunities, study abroad, starting their freshman year. So many other large institutions may not offer that to students starting their freshman year, but at ECSU, we encourage you to take advantage of that. I always explain to students and parents for two reasons. Either it's gonna make sure or confirm that you studied the right major, or tell you need to change your major. Either way, you're gonna find that out your freshman year and not when you get further into your college career.
Here in North Carolina A&T, we also have a career services office, but we definitely wouldn't wait till after graduation. We definitely prepare you as you are entering your freshman year. So we definitely host the largest career fair here on the East Coast, often hosting Fortune 500 companies, and we definitely will prepare you for these opportunities. So for example, if you were to interview with Brahmin, or if you were to interview with Twitter, we will host mock interviews. We also will shut down JCPenney so that you so that our students can go ahead and receive professional attire before their big interview, things of that nature. So not only are we preparing you with resume polishing or interview critiquing, or literally preparing you for the look, but we also have a platform called Handshake, in which it will pair you with internship opportunities, career opportunities, externships, and then not only are those Fortune 500 companies recruiting students on there, our Aggie alums are on there ready to pursue our students so that they can build that pipeline straight out of their, out of their senior year. So there are plenty of opportunities coming out of A&T, as there are over 15,000 positions offered to our students yearly.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Faison, yes.
Sorry about that. I agree with the sentiments of all of my colleagues. We do also have a career services center. We really try to make sure that throughout your first 2 years at Bennett, you're really exploring your career options, you know, drilling down what it is you want to do, what major you're interested in. You'll be provided with a lot of career service opportunities through that program. We also partner with other colleges and universities here in the city for college fair, for career fair opportunities. And you'll also work with your academic advisor within your major to kind of go through a scope and sequence of career options and opportunities from that program, and how you want to move forward with that. But pretty much the same as what my colleagues have also said.
Okay, so here at Shaw University, guys, life after graduation is definitely a priority. Along with everyone else, we do offer a career services department, but we also out of the gate have a first year experience department for our freshman students as well. So as an upperclassman, actually, as a first semester senior, you're also tasked in your practicum class with finding an internship. So all of our majors require mandatory internship hours for graduation. Now you're actually tasked to find an internship that actually is relevant to your major. So say you want to be an elementary school teacher, you literally will be sitting in a classroom observing prior to graduation. So there's endless opportunities for you to grow, and you show up and show out your internship. Who knows, that could turn into a job right after graduation.
Awesome, thank you guys so much. We only have about 10 minutes left, so we will, I think we have one question for Mr. Flowers. I think he raised his hand. Did you, or Miss Flowers, I'm sorry, it just says J Flowers, I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes, this is Mrs. Flowers. This is Jaden's mom. I put it in the chat as well, but I was just had questions about students that have IEPs. I know that once they go to college, the IEP is not anything any longer. So, you know, just that process to transition from that standpoint. I know that most universities have well, pretty much all of them have disability services offices, but I guess, in our process of looking for colleges, we're kind of just wanting to know like resources for students that have disabilities, and just making sure we have all our ducks in a row as far as making sure we're looking at every opportunity to make sure that the process is a smooth transition for a student with an IEP. I did see, I believe there was a link on CFNC regarding that as well.
There is a link for all of our schools. You will see where they have information providing regarding disabilities, whether it's physical or a learning differently is what I would like to say. But your colleges and universities do offer those services. I can speak for myself when my sons attend the HBCU here in the state of North Carolina, and one of them did have an IEP in high school, and they provide great services to continue that if need be. And I'm a proud mother of a son who graduated cum laude. So, hey, think the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. Yes, they do provide services.
And Mrs. Flowers, Fayetteville State has a program that's fairly funded called the Bronco Star, excuse me. And the idea is to help students who learn differently.
Okay.
So that's students that fall under the autism spectrum, students that have physical disabilities, and variations thereof. So we do offer that. If you want more information, go ahead and email me, and I will provide the point of contact for you to flesh out specifically if there's anything specific for your child in particular. And Ms. Brittany, someone asked a question concerning the music videos and things of that nature. Fayetteville State has.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that information.
Yes, Ms. Flowers. We do have a TV station as well as a radio station that's accessible to all students that will allow them, no matter what major you are, to use the equipment and to borrow, as long as you are a student, you have your student ID card, and everything, of course, is under professional standard along with a Mac and Edit Lab.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we also have another question about just eligibility, and I'm going to ask it in a different way because I think it's a great question. How do you approach students who may not meet your requirements when it comes to maybe the GPA or the test score? Are there ways around that? Are there ways for students to make their application more competitive if they don't meet your minimum requirements?
And so I know at Elizabeth City State University, one of the things that, like I said earlier, we encourage students to definitely apply if they're concerned about that. A lot of students that I work with, they're definitely concerned about their GPA. And I always tell them, you still, have a whole nother semester to go. Many of them exceeded 2.5 GPA, that minimum to be considered in that last semester. For those students who still kind of fall short, I do encourage them, they can definitely start right there at local community college, get 24 transferable hours, and they would meet our transfer student admissions criteria. As long as they have 24 transferable hours, then we can use that to make a decision based on that. So, but also for students who are early college high schools, just as a reminder, you do have the option to be reviewed as a transfer student if you have those 24 transferable hours. And certainly, if you have your associate's degree. But I would definitely encourage you, and my colleagues, may chime in as well. Definitely reach out to the institution. I know that I think Ms. Booth Horton had mentioned some of our first generation students, and so it's not just first generation. A lot of students are just apprehensive, especially with this pandemic. One of the things that I'm always saying is just, give us a call, send us an email. At ECSU, we'll, I'll jump on a Zoom call with a parent and a student if they have questions. We're in the office if you want to call the office, but I would say, we're definitely willing to have that conversation. And at the very minimum, because my goal is, if I can't get you in this semester, just give me a little bit of time. We'll put a plan together and I'll get you right here to ECSU.
I've always been told that college is a building, and there are many doors to get into that building. And no matter what door you go into, you get inside that building. So whether you need to transfer, whether you come in as an incoming freshman, whether you graduate high school and take some time to work a little bit and figure things out and come a little bit later, it doesn't matter how you get in the building as long as you go inside. So Thank you so much for that explanation, Mr. Ure. And there are schools that don't have those minimum course requirements. So schools like, or not minimum course requirements, but those state regulated GPA and SAT requirements. Schools like Shaw and Bennett are private institutions that have a little bit more wiggle room. Not saying that they accept all students who apply, but there are different metrics that they can use when it comes to admitting students into their institution. So biggest piece of advice, utilize your resources, contact these schools, tell your story. Each and every one of you have a story to tell. And this is one of the few times in your life where you can tell that story and be rewarded for that. So take your time in researching institutions. We are coming up on 7:26, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So we'll take one more question and then we'll close it up for the evening. Again, this is being recorded, so we will share this out to everybody who registered as a recording. And then I put my email address in the chat. If anybody would like the PowerPoint, I'm happy to share that with you. But do we have any final questions before we close out for the evening?
Ms. Brittany, Joey asked, if you are an early college student, what is recommended to go as a transfer student or a freshman student? And I'd like to answer that to Jody. So for Fayetteville State, it's your choice. I'll provide you one or two options. If you come in as a transfer student, you will not be eligible for incoming freshman scholarships. So in general, it'll probably be a better idea to come in as a freshman. And along that terms, speaking of scholarships, Fayetteville State also offers an early college debt-free scholarship. So we're assuming you coming out with your 2-year degree. Once you come to Fayetteville State, after your financial aid is given, we'll pay for the rest of your college. That includes your dorms and anything else. Now, if you want to learn more information about anything else within Fayetteville State, in my final conclusion, we have a spring open house, which I'll post a link in the chat. It's going to be on March 27th from 11 to 1:30, virtual tours, conversations, and more things about finances and whatnot. So I appreciate you.
And I will be presenting on residency on March 27th. So we hope to see you there. That's the beauty of HBCUs. They are a community for all of us, regardless of if you are an alum, if you attended the institution or not. You are going to find a family at HBCUs, especially the historically Black colleges and universities in the state of North Carolina. Panelists, do you have anything you'd like to say to close out before I let everybody go for the evening?
Would like to just make an announcement that we will be having part 2 of this series in the fall, and we are looking toward the month of September. Those colleges and universities that will be on the platform will be none other than St. Augustine's University Falcons, Winston-Salem State Rams, North Carolina Central University Eagles, Johnson C. Smith University, the Golden Bulls, and Livingstone College, the Blue Bears. So please come back and join us again. Don't let this be your last time. And we will also be sending out other announcements regarding HBCU webinars that we will be having on various topics. So look for that in your email. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'm gonna pass it back to our moderator.
I just want to take time to say, panelists, do y'all have anything you'd like to close out with before we close out?
I'll see you guys in August.
Yes, go Bears.
I just want to thank you. I know I was just going to thank all of our panelists and all of our colleges for joining tonight and our students. I think this is a really important program to learn about all the wonderful things our HBCUs have to offer. And if for some reason you come up with a question later that didn't get answered tonight, scroll back through the chat. I think we put the contact information in there a couple times. And there's other information that's coming through. So it's scan through that chat before you leave. Thank you.
Awesome. One of the things I'm most proud of is being from North Carolina, and there's so many reasons to be proud of being from North Carolina, but knowing that we are a state that houses the most HBCUs in the nation is something to be proud of. So thank you so much to our panelists for representing their schools and representing them so well. You make me want to reapply to college and go back. So thank you so much for everyone who took time out of their night to join us this evening. Utilize your resources. Remember to be proud of yourself and for making it through this pandemic right now. Keep working hard, and we look forward to seeing you on our part 2 of this series in the fall. Have a great evening. Take care, everybody.